Good morning. It has only been a week and things have already changed again, so I'm going to take you on another garden tour and show you what's growing and what is almost ready to harvest. So I've been building a lot of teepees for all the tomatoes I plan to have, so lots of vertical structures which are looking beautiful. My radish plant here started to fall over, so I've actually harvested some of those leaves and dropped them into the garden in a few spots where I want the nutrients to seep back in with the rains that we're having. Something super exciting is this carrot that I let go to seed last season is finally growing some flowers, and I'll be able to put some bags over these to try collect the seeds so they don't fall in. The chickpea plant, look at this, is finally creating some little pods all over. So we'll have some chickpeas. I think there's only 1 or 2 in each pod, which isn't a huge harvest, but is still really nice and exciting. Potatoes and the tomatoes are starting to absolutely take off. This plant is so large already. And then there's a tomato plant here. Rhubarb is going crazy. And then my sweet potato slips, as you can see, are finally growing some new leaves and starting to actually do things. So now would be the time to plant more. But one thing I really want to show you guys is the compost pile. You're going to absolutely love this. Have a look. I think it's time to grow some pumpkins. What do you think? Look at all those volunteers. This is crazy. So a lot of these can be transplanted or just let them grow from there. The olive tree is fruiting. The fig trees are going off. Baby chicks growing up fast. As far as gender goes for these big pullets, I think maybe this is a rooster. Rooster at the back there, so that's 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure about that one and the one at the back. So I'm thinking rooster, 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 hens. See how their crop's a lot smaller? Red one is a hen. And then see this one at the front. That white one, I'm not sure. Move. There you go. She looks a little different from the others. And the one at the back there, the black one, I'm not sure. I think the young roosters will probably grow them up to be like dog food and harvest them for that reason. They'll be a bit tough to eat, and I have had no luck at getting them some new homes. So I think that'll be our solution for that, which will be a really good solution because we make our own dog food. So this garden has pretty much gone to rest now. I have planted out some little marigolds, which of course the chickens have been getting into. So I'm not sure how they'll go, but I've planted them in some of the different gardens. Over here, we've had a good harvest of snow peas so far, and I'm really devastated to see that there's less and less of them. So hopefully more grow soon, and this plant's not coming to retirement yet. In the big garden bed you saw, we harvested this top row of garlic, and so there's now some potatoes coming in. We also have some beans, and I think eventually I'll plant out maybe some sweet potatoes here or some more tomatoes. Not sure yet. There's another row of garlic to be harvested back there, but it's not ready yet. Tomatoes and peanuts are doing pretty well. I'll show you guys the peanut plants. Yeah. Planted some beetroot seedlings and they're growing really strong all throughout this bed. I'm planning to probably preserve them, I think, or turn them into like a hummus or freeze them to be able to do that. Leeks still growing back from the same point. More beetroot, doing really well. What else? These onions are getting really close to harvest. I'm a bit worried that some of them will start to rot, so I might even come through and, I don't know, harvest some, but yep, they're going along well. This is exciting. I have beans, I think I have zucchini or cucumber. I think that one's a zucchini and that one could be a cucumber. And then all my pumpkin seedlings are also coming up, which is great. There's a cucumber plant here. It's doing okay. And my corn's coming up, but it doesn't look like it's thriving. See here? So we'll see what happens to the corn. This tatsoi or spinach has gone to seed, and I'm planning on letting these dry out and then collecting the seed from them to be able to plant my own, because it'll be more adapted to this climate. That same thing goes for my broccoli plants this year. So you may have seen a lot of them have flowers. They're overrun by aphids now, but all of these little seed pods, I'm going to let them dry out on the plant as much as I can and then harvest them and put them in a bag or something, and then be able to plant these seeds out into my garden. Same thing for this Brussels sprout. It's cool. So many of them. Yeah, that's really my little update. Things are just slowly starting to happen now. Things are slowly starting to come up as the soils are warming up. We're still getting lots of rains at the moment, but I think we've got about a week of sunny weather coming up really soon, and I think we're going to see a really big difference when we come through this next week. The Nigella has finally come up as well and is looking so whimsical. Like a snowflake. Blueberries, super slow, but on their way. One thing I am noticing this year is how much grumpier our bees are. I have had some pretty epic stings so far. I got one on my nose the other day and several on my legs just from like watching them for a bit. So not very good. Not a fan of that. But yeah, they seem to be going okay. I think they're a little bit quieter today. This little flower garden for the bees is starting to come together and it's looking a lot fuller. I have my violets planted, all my cosmos seeds are coming up. These are ones we collected from our garden and brought up here. And it looks like there's a little marigold as well. Lovely. Now I'm going to get out of here before these guys start to sting me. Food forest is looking good. All the trees are nice and lush. I haven't seen any signs of buds or fruit yet on the apricots. The apple and the pear had a lot of flowers, which are now just chilled out. So I don't know if they'll turn into fruit. We'll keep a look. I haven't seen anything yet. Yep, still nothing here. This is another apricot. That's the apple. Whether it gets anything, I think if it does, we'll have to stake it because otherwise it's just going to fall over. Nectarine had quite a bit of curl, so that might not be the best thing for the fruit. The rhubarb I planted though, guys, did you see how it's taking off? Rhubarb is so resilient and easy to transplant and is a really great thing to cook with. I have a recipe for rhubarb barbecue sauce on my channel. I also made a pie with it. Apple crumble with rhubarb is delicious. I planted a tamarillo tree here. So we'll see how that goes. Cherry tree, not much happening. Just looks beautiful. Apple tree, our little stick is finally getting some leaves. And some more rhubarb down there. Looks so good. So at the moment, that is all that's growing on our little homestead. We are going to make some serious work on that bus really soon. We've just ordered our tanks a couple of weeks back and they'll take 5 weeks to arrive. So super excited because that is like one of the main components we have to put underneath the bus. Sam will be borrowing a sander to start the flooring inside the bus as well and start to build that all out. So that's really super exciting. I think there's going to be a lot of major changes with that bus over the next few weeks and months. So stick around for that. Our goal is to get it done before we get married in 2024. So we still have about a year and a half to go, which is great. We've got plenty of time, but I think we're ready. We're ready to get that built into our home. There's less animals on the homestead now as well from really unfortunate circumstances and some lessons that we've definitely learnt the hard way this year. This year with animals has just been so difficult. There's been a lot of lessons and a lot of misfortune that we've had to kind of overcome and deal with. So now that we just have some chickens and geese, it leaves us some time and room to be able to dedicate some time to some creative projects like a goose pond, like a few different upgrades to the coops and systems, and just being able to spend a little bit more time not only in this bus but also in the gardens and building up structures and making it even more useful. I don't know if useful is the right word, maybe a little bit more practical and easy to move between and grow food. So super excited for an amazing growing season and a few more projects to do. Christmas is also just around the corner and I'm planning on decorating the house really soon, decorating the garden as well, doing a lot of homemade things rather than buying them because, you know, I'm all about that. So I'm looking forward to taking you guys along every single day for Vlogmas and doing a few festive things together and just showing you things as they change daily.